Nilvarius agreed, and they went to the outskirts of the town to wait for the group to arrive back. And shortly thereafter, we returned and saw Leuven standing by the gates of the town with an elf we didn't recognize. When we approached, Leuven asked about how it went with the gnolls, and we told him that they were all wiped out. We had found and destroyed the totem they were using to access the plane. Leuven, being content that the situation was handled, introduced us to Novarius, who is our new player that is joining our group now. Oh, we all introduced ourselves, and Leuven started discussing our next plan of recovering his anchor, and he invited Nilvarius along to assist with that. Nilvarius agreed to help out, and while we were starting to make plans, we asked him if he wanted to see our ship and meet Steve. Nilvarius said it sounded good, but Leuven interjected that he just had a brilliant idea. One of the main problems we were having was we're facing on how to recover Leuven's anchor was how to get back to the location that it was lost in. And Leuven's idea was that we could utilize Steve's gate ability to help with that. So we all agreed to go talk about the plans some more on the ship while we introduced Novarius to Steve. Novarius was a little bit confused when Kevin described Steve as his goldfish and then found out that he was a 40-foot long golden gatefish that could, create gates to other planes, but he went along with it pretty well. After figuring out exactly how the plan would work, Leuven's plan would work, he went into town to go make some additional preparations while Kevin went to go update Yesla on the plan. When Kevin went to go tell Yesla, she actually recognized the creature that Kevin was describing as the one that had killed him. She recognized it as one of the guardians of the Hells, specifically the one behind the first gate of the Hells. She instantly got it very concerned when Kevin started describing the plan. Um, Kevin suggested that they go update the party with the new information about what the creature was, and Yesla volunteered to go to tell Leuven since he had wandered off into town while Kevin told the rest of the party. So Kevin went and found the rest of the group, informed them of the updates and his conversation, and while we were talking about it, we heard and saw several massive spells going off in the town, which we all immediately left the ship to go see what that was all about. Once we got there, we saw Yesla restrained by two guards and Leuven's corpse on the ground, having been killed by Yesla. We were all stunned at the sight and started asking about what was happening. Yesla said she had no choice because she couldn't convince Leuven to not take the most direct route to the creature, which would have almost certainly led to it escaping and killing everyone. So she had to make the choice of killing Leuven to save everyone. Sabo naturally got
Allegedly.
very
Allegedly.
allegedly. So Sabo naturally got really upset that Yesla had just killed the guy that had just saved her from her curse and started telling the guards to put her to trial and execute her for her crimes. Kevin intervened and tried to calm the whole situation down. Ended up that we agreed to put Yesla in the town's prison until we could figure something else out. Sabo and Ilvarius went back to the ship to go through Leuven's things and try to figure out a new plan for what we were going to do now without Leuven. And Kevin went to the prison with Yesla to keep talking about what just happened. Kevin's conversation with Yesla was a lot of back and forth. That was eventually was Yesla just telling Kevin that he couldn't release the creature; it was too dangerous and whatnot. Kevin retorting back that he had made a promise to Leuven and he was going back no matter what. After a while, Yesla relented, said there might be a different way to save Leuven without risking the creature escaping, which would involve making a deal with the generals of hell that created the creature in the first place. So Kevin thought that was sounded like a fine plan, because he agreed that releasing the creature now that he knew what it was probably a bad idea. So he went to go tell Sabo and Novarius about what Yesla had thought about. After explaining that, Sabo still didn't trust Yesla, but Novarius thought the plan was insightful. Uh, they both agreed that releasing the creature was going to be bad, but Sabo didn't said he couldn't trust Yesla anymore, and that he thought if we let her out of prison, she would just kill the whole party to stop us anyway. After a bunch of bickering back and forth, Kevin convinced Sabo and Novarius to come talk to Yesla themselves to make up their own mind on the matter. So we got back down into the prison, had even more. Welcome back.
God damn it, Discord decided to update. I missed like
That's
8
okay.
Don't
seconds
you
of
love
that.
when that
That's
happens?
No, that's fine. So after a while of the back and forth between Yesla and Sabo and Kevin, Novarius ended up walking away just because he saw the conversation was going nowhere. And eventually Kevin chimed in to the conversation about Yesla's concerns with releasing the creature, that he had already performed that miracle and he's not even a god. That apparently stirred something in Yesla, who then asked Kevin to approach the bars of her cell, which he did cautiously, standing just out of her reach. She wanted him to move closer and asked if Kevin trusted her, which he said he did, and he moved closer. As he did, Yesla pulled him in by the armor and kissed him extensively, transferring him 2 boons in the process. Once she had pulled away, she asked everyone, but mostly Kevin, to make a promise that no one would go back into the room with that creature. Kevin tried to retort a little bit, but she absolutely insisted that it would be no one. So Kevin agreed, and Yesla turned to Sabo, asked him to agree as well. And after some clarifications that if he agreed that Yesla would help us, uh, Sabo made the agreement as well. After that was all said and done, we talked to Aiden, got Yesla released back into our custody, and brought her back to the ship. And we had just begun talking about going to see the Sphinx that was a little bit south of where we were, to help us formulate a plan of action for where to go next.
fine. Alright. So, making your way to the Sphinx, or is there going to be a change in plans?
I
Just
guess
a
the
bit
only
less than 8
question,
hours south of here.
yeah, the only question I had is about what time of day is it right now, since we're going to be traveling for 8 hours. Is it still morning time, or
No, it's closer to about 1:30 now.
so we could get there around nightfall?
Yes.
So
Mm,
then, question to the group then: do we want to spend the night here and leave first thing in the morning?
might as well.
Okay, then we should probably let the mayor of the other town, who's still on our ship, know that we're going to be a little bit more delayed in getting him back. Ditto Connor.
I have a question. How much XP did we get from Leuven?
Ooh,
James, is the stream up?
Yes.
Okay.
How much XP did you get for him?
Yeah.
Well,
got
he was
his
divided
corpse.
among the town.
This is a problem.
But what did we get for him?
I made a list of all the items that were on his amongst his belongings. And I meant to remind James that about tell us about what is in spellbooks. I am interested in his spellbooks and copying what I